flex. The livest one in the section. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga, boof. I'm a 88 pack nigga, boof. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. Well, it's time to bleed this morning. We got to go fast because this interview's about 40 minutes, and I want to hit some key points on this. Actually, it's a continuation from yesterday. So let's get it, man. Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Let's do this roll call real quick. Michael Fleming, Stormy B-Man in the building. Mac of the South. Sister Shawa, salute. Go subscribe to our queen, man. I don't know why she's not at 1,000 by now. Yes, indeed, boxing. That's our queen, Shawa, a.k.a. Storm, the Storm. Go subscribe to our sister. Let's force these numbers up, man. Let's make everybody profitable. You understand? Let's work. We are a community. We support. Let's get it. If y'all not subscribed to the queen, I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Take your asses over there and go subscribe to my sister, okay? Thank you. Thank you much. We appreciate you. G. McCall, Colombia, salute. Thank you for your support. Miss Van Houder in the building, salute. I'm going to try to make it to Florida, and me and your son will be jumping rope. Salute. Bernard Gilbert, Eagle Letarian, Steve O, Andrew Gray, Eric Myers, Dal Big G, Shaquilla, salute Queen. My brother Mansa Musa in the building, salute. 1D, minute second. Shamar, what up? Copper, what up, brother? Rod Nail, Houston, salute, salute, salute. Come on in. I need to get to this smoke immediately. It's basically a continuation from yesterday. You know, I always say, just let them talk. Just let them talk. Coach Hudson in the building. While y'all at it, make the lateral move. Go subscribe to my brother, coach of the Truth Tellers. Take your behinds over there and go support my brother. You know what I'm saying? I get my daily bread every morning. Coach be live. My brother Junior's live right now. I love Junior. I love his brother. I get my daily, you know, every morning you should have a daily affirmation. And it's okay to talk to yourself. You give yourself a pep talk. That's my second channel, the Painful Excellence Podcast, aka Pep Talk. And have a daily affirmation. Talk to yourself in that mirror. What are you going to do today? I'm going to get up and I'm going to wash those damn dishes that I should have washed last night. I'm going to go get my steps in. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to drive by the gym. I might not go in it, but I'm going to go in there. You know what I mean? I'm going to do 5 push-ups today. I'm going to take care of something that I didn't take care of. You know, love listening to my brother Junior in the morning. He always says something of value. Go subscribe to my brother Junior The Truth. He's live right now. All right, when we had to meet up in Atlanta 2 years ago, we had a whole tour of Google. Junior made that happen for us. You understand? We working over here, brothers and sisters. So yeah, shout out to Coach Hudson. Y'all make sure y'all go over there, get your daily bread over there. Shamar, salute. Damn, look at this, man. He been in the strong house for as long as about Tank, for as long as Tank about to go to jail. That's the only joke I'm telling this morning. Salute, Shamar. I appreciate you, good brother. Thank you so much. Oh, boy. Ty Swindle, salute. HMC. Tim Harmon. Why is that dog barking this morning? Shut him up. Steve Elder, Mac, my brother. Nada 86, salute early in that super chat. He says, salute, June, salute to the mighty LDBC. K-Rod, salute, my brother. Cheeks, what up, bro? How are you? Yes, sir. Salute. Yes, sir. Snacks B, 88, what's good, my brother? Always supporting. 88 been down from the beginning. Salute. So let's get to this smoke. Basically, it's a continuation from yesterday. Now, don't take my word for it, because you know when we talk about these people in the industry, it's sour grapes. Oh, it's you LDBCers, as that raging racist calls us, the LDBCers. Rick Glasser. Okay, but the LDBCers wasn't down in Dubai with a cartel leader by the name of Daniel Kinahan. So with all the shenanigans, you see, Mauricio SILLYMAN is used to the shenanigans because the shenanigans was in his favor. Now, I want you to think about something. All right, well, you know what? I'll bring it up as I go along. This is Chris Mannix interviewing Mauricio SILLYMAN. And again, I said yesterday, Chris Mannix did a good thing, but these journalists, they're paid smuts. Mook, what up, Mook? They're paid smuts. Oh, really? Wait a minute. Something going on with Bear Cave? Hold on. It's live? What's going on here? Hold on. Stream settings. That's crazy. Whoa. I'm on the editing settings. It says live chat disabled for this video. Let me see why. It says you may see live chat disabled. Here's why. YouTube may have turned off the live chat on some content for safety reasons, like to protect minors or what? It could be that, or it says the channel or video's audience is set made for kids. I never did that. Wait a minute. I promise you, I did not do that. Hold on. No, hell nah. What? Oh, nah. It says restrictions made for kids. No. What? What? Oh, man. How could I change that in real time? Customization, details, visibility public. Okay. Restrictions made for kids. How do I change that? Oh, I might have made a mistake. Okay, no, it's not made for kids. There you go. I just switched it, y'all. Whoa. Customization, live chat, anyone. Okay. All right. Okay. So refresh the page and maybe it should be, thank you. Wow. That was my bad. Okay. All right. Testing. Okay, it should be okay now. I thought it was YouTube up to his shenanigans again. Black Jericho. Convos with Cam. Salute, man. That was some great words you had yesterday. Dirt Gang boss. D-Way, what up? Fire Sniper in that super chat. Salute. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, good brother. Thank you. I had it set for kids. I don't know. That's a damn. You know what? I'll eat that. That was my mistake. Thank you for that. I didn't know. I guess when you have things set for kids, they don't let you comment. All right, so let's get to the smoke because this is a long interview, and I want to get to all of it. So Chris Mannix, you know, these guys, they got new zaddies now. Willie Low, Bomb Squad in the building. Salute. That's my brother. Go subscribe to Willie Low and Marty. Bomb Squad. Salute. The journalist goes where the money is. And Chris Mannix works for DAZN. DAZN is in partnership with Riyadh Season. and Turkey is throwing the money around. So Chris Mannix did his job. In the old way of doing things no longer exists. Mark Hairston, salute. They no longer exist. Gone are the days where you pay to play. Now I want you to listen to this interview and point out where Chris Mannix is wrong. The only thing, there's things that he left out, and all Mauricio SILLYMAN is left with is his thumb up his bum and a bag of frustration. He looked like he wanted a shot of tequila right there, but we're going to listen to it. Check this out.
On camera, I want to thank you for being here. You have been in the news over the last week, and you know how I feel about some of the actions taken by sanctioning bodies in recent years. So I appreciate you being here to answer some of these questions.
Absolutely, Chris. Thank you for the opportunity for me, on behalf of the WBC, to provide our side of any topic that we will be discussing.
Okay, so let's jump right in with the most recent news. Shakur Stevenson is no longer the WBC's 135-pound champion. Why is Shakur Stevenson no longer the champion?
Thank you. Let me give you the full story.
Now, before he gives the full story, I'm sure you saw the new. You watched the news by now. Okay. Now he's giving his side, but we know the real deal.
We received a call from his management in which they requested the WBC to have Shakur Stevenson fight on a different weight category while maintaining the lightweight championship, and being this a WBC event, which even they asked for a special belt for the fight. We explained clearly that that is within the WBC rules, and that I would be very happy to convey that to the board and make it happen, because Shakur has been associated with WBC since 2019. I told his management they needed to send a written request in order to start all the process. From that point on, we had another couple of conversations. They were supposed to send a written request, which didn't happen. However, I went to the convention early December. I expressed the position, the petition, the verbal petition, and it was voted in favor. However, we needed to have everything in writing, as every promoter does, and every situation has to be taken care of. Then came December, stopped absolute communications. On January, I started again the communication requesting the petition, the sanctioning petition. And then I even involved the promoter, Matchroom. And I copied also Sela, who is closely associated with the promotions. And no response whatsoever. There were some emails that they responded. Our legal team continued the communications, and they never responded whatsoever to any petition of putting it in writing and receiving the final authorization.
Let me interrupt quickly. Why does Shakur Stevenson need the WBC's permission to fight in a different weight class for a different sanctioning body's title?
That's a great question. Now, let me stop right there. Kid Kudo, salute. Cortez, what up? Mr. Big Play. Now, listen. Chaz Bleak, salute. If I miss you in the chat, know that I love you. This is a long interview. I want to get through as much of it as I can. Now, look. If y'all didn't see the news already, it's all over Instagram. I think Aki, salute to my brother Aki, go subscribe to Aki TV. If you listen to Shakur's team, what's the brother's name? Forget the brother's name, the Latin brother. He said that they were damn near calling up Shakur. You know, pretty much it sounded like harassment. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And Shakur was very clear. I didn't plan on vacating my title at 135 pounds. There's been a ton of fighters throughout the years who have gone up in weight, okay, got a belt, and didn't stay at the weight and went back down and still maintained their title. Shakur never said I was going to vacate my 135-pound title. You want an example of that? Okay. When Tank Davis went up and fought Mario Barrios, was he stripped? No. These sanctioning bodies do what they want to do. They do what they want to do. DEW, DEW. When Guillermo Rigondeaux went up to fight Vasily Lomachenko and lost, what did the WBA do? They stripped him, and he didn't even lose that belt at his division. He just went up to test the waters. It didn't work out, and they stripped him. Yeah, Canelo, when he has that green belt, he does whatever the fuck he wants. As a matter of fact, they create statuses for him. Franchise? Franchise, anyone? Franchise? That you pay fees on. Because it has nothing to do with the greater good of boxing. When we say the greater good of boxing, we're talking dollars and cents. It makes great business for him. Canelo's great for business for that green belt. They kept him away from Jamal Charlo, which is going to come up in this. Not exactly what I just said, but Jamal's going to come up in this. And I'm going to address the fuck out of that. This guy is he's so full of crap, his eyes are brown. Yeah. But let's continue. So Chris asked him, why does he have to pay the WBC a fee when he's going up to fight for something totally unrelated? His response.
Because he requested that permission.
He requested that permission. That sounds like a franchise situation. Question, y'all. Where's the franchise belt? I mean, I don't know why it was a belt anyway. Remember I said it should have been a trophy, a sports jacket like they do in golf, the PGA. It could have been anything, but they made it in the form of a belt. It should have been a trophy, a plaque, or something. They made it in the form of a belt. Why? So they can charge you for it. Okay? And I really wish Mannix asked that. Where is it? Where did it go? Because the last franchise champion, I think it was Devin Haney. Because the last person to have it prior to Devin was who? Kambosos. Kambosos took it from Teofimo. Teofimo took it from Lomachenko. But let's pause there for a minute, because according to the original rules, it wasn't transferable. It's a special privilege. Remember that? That's what this guy said, not us. We was reading it and we was confused. Again, go to Barbershop Conversations when Mauricio SILLYMAN was on there. Not the second time, the first time. No, wait a minute. I think it was the first time. When he was asked and he tried to explain it, and people in the chat and even Fred was like, wait a minute, that still doesn't make any sense. But whatever. His rules. And then all of a sudden it was transferable. As soon as Teofimo beat Loma, it became transferable. Why? Because they were working with the Latino. We like Loma. We like Teofimo better. Lopez. We like him better. Keep him away from Devin. All he had to do was beat George, and he couldn't do that. That's God talking. But let me go ahead. Dubside, just hang out, brother. Just hang out. If
you want to keep your title, there are specific rules, and these rules have been in place for decades. When you are a champion in the WBC or any other organization, you have benefits from being a champion. When
Fuck out of here.
you are to engage in a non-title bout or in a title bout on another weight category, up or down, you need to receive the permission from the organization to do so.
Where does that make sense? Okay, now if it's a rule, fine. But even if you're going up to fight for another sanctioning body, you still got to pay them? That means, okay, you're the WBC champion at 35. You have an opportunity to fight for the WBO or the WBA at a higher weight division or a lower weight division. Every move after that has nothing to do with the WBC, you still got to pay them? If that's in the rules and you sign for that, all right, fine, but that's dumb.
And that's what we have been consistent. It has happened so many times with many fighters. There's precedent. In fact, Benavidez is fighting in May as WBC light heavyweight champion, and he's fighting in cruiserweight for another organization. He made the petition in written, and it's the exact same case that is the way it's done by the WBC rules.
So you stripped Shakur not because he holds.
We did not strip Shakur.
Well, you vacated the title. It's kind of the same thing.
The management elected not to comply, and they eventually vacated the title because they did not comply. And we have so many written proof of everything.
So they wanted the fee. They said, fine, you're going up there and you're getting work, but it has nothing to do with our title, but because you're getting work somewhere. All right, listen, let me make it very simple for y'all. Freedom's March, salute. St. Louis Mix, salute. Let me make it simple for y'all. You work a job. Now, after your job, you go work somewhere else for another 3 to 4 hours. You have your part-time job at the end to make the ends meet. Imagine your basic 9 to 5 gig that pays you the majority of the money, that have your health benefits. They say, all right, you working out of the job. We need 3% of that money for you to work. You can work there, but you got to give us 3% of that money. If not, we're going to demote you. We're going to remove you from the tour, that comfortable tour. Let's say you picked a nice tour, like 7 to 3, 9 to 5, 8 to 4. If you don't give us 3% from that other job, your side gig, we're going to put you on a 12 to 8. That's basically what the fuck he just said. You're basically getting punished. You got to give us 3% of that money you make over there. And it's like, yo, I'm working over here doing one thing. I'm working somewhere else doing something totally unrelated. And in order for us to still function, I got to give you 3% of my shit. You are bugging. But according to Mauricio, that's in the rules. The rules. And they wonder why Shakur said, nah, get out of here. I ain't doing that. And by the way, he's talking about what they wrote to him and what they said to him, according to Kerr's team, in regards to that information, in regards to those conversations. Bud Crawford came up. Here's my question. Why is Bud Crawford coming up in a conversation when it's between Shakur and the WBC? Why is Bud Crawford's name coming up? Ain't that strange? Sounds like they're punishing Shakur for who's he associated with, but let's go ahead.
We published after the convention on December the 3rd, the status of each weight category. I published personally on January 26th, the status of the each weight category, and it clearly says the WBC allowed this situation. However, we have not received any response from Shakur Stevenson, and the board is going to address this matter. And all this is published publicly, Chris. And I'll be very happy. I don't know if you received the WBC notifications. I'll be happy to add your email so you can receive it directly. But all this is public. We have never said no to an interview. We have never said no to any question. Everything is public. And it is very troubling and sensitive the way this situation has been handled.
Do you think
the rules?
Shakur Stevenson told me that you asked for $120,000 in order for you to sanction that fight. Is that accurate?
That is accurate. In writing, we send a letter insisting on them we tried everything to avoid this situation. What we send is the WBC approves your petition to fight, and according to the WBC rules, a fee of $120,000, which is less than the 3% that should be.
I don't give a fudge. What are you talking about, bruh? I don't give a damn. Imagine having to pay your main employee 3% of everything or anything, 1% of anything to go work another job. Imagine you got an opportunity and some guy, all right, check it out. You have a job and they pay you well. And some guy comes along and says, yo, look, for the next week, I just need you. I'm gonna have some trucks coming up. I just need you to help unload. And for the week, I'm gonna pay you $5,000 just to unload, use your forklift or whatever it is y'all do. You're like, wait a minute, just 1 week. Yeah, the truck's gonna pull up to that building. It's gonna be a new factory. I just need some help real quick, brother. Can you just help me? Just come at what time you get out of work? At 3? Could you be here by 4? And from 4 to 8, just help unload these trailers. And I will pay you at the end of the week $5,000 cash. Fuck it, sign me up. For a week, sign me up. For 4 hours, sign me up. And then your job comes and say, yeah, man, you could do that, but according to our contract, we need 2% of that $5,000. What? Y'all understand that this is basically what's happening here. This is basically what's happening here. Now, it might be in writing, and unfortunately, if it's in writing, you agree to it by signing up, but it's the dumbest shit ever. 1 second, y'all. My bad, y'all. 88 Sports talking that super chat salute. He says, I watched Blue Blood video the other day, and it looks like he about to do it to David Benavidez, yeah, versus Zurdo Ramirez, since he couldn't scam Shakur and Bud. Listen, man, they're going to talk about David later in this. All right? David has done a great disservice. Yeah, Willie Lowe, yeah, yes. David Benavidez, it was done a great disservice by the WBC. And all that man did was say, you know what, F it, I'm not going to get what I want because they don't want to see that redhead get his ass beat. And I'm saying it on record right now. David Benavidez not only beats Canelo, but he beats him up. It'll be the first time you see Canelo get beat up. I mean, like beat down. And I know y'all think, oh man, that's impossible. No, David Benavidez will dominate Canelo. It won't even be close. That'll be the first time you see him get beat down. Like You remember the bro? Go watch Hector Camacho versus Sugar Ray Leonard. You watch that like, man, okay, you know Sugar Ray at that point shouldn't have been in the ring. But god damn, all you could say was, man, that wasn't Sugar Ray from 79. But then you realize that was 20 years ago. So it actually makes sense. In this aspect, David is in his prime. And I don't want to hear it. Canelo's in his prime. David, a big boy. And Canelo openly ducked that guy. David will beat Canelo down. It'll be punishment. And before it gets bad, they will throw that towel in between rounds 5 and 6. Listen, when Anthony Yard tied up Benavidez's arms, you know the ref says, fight to get out. You ain't got to tell David that. What did he start doing? He started throwing those uppercuts with the free arms. You saw that shit? Boom, 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 boom. I was like, oh my God. And I know Anthony Yard was prepared for certain things, but then when you get in there, it's different. As soon as he mixed it up with him, he was like, holy crap, this ain't it. And I honestly believe Anthony Yard did all he could. I honestly believe that. And salute to him. I like Anthony Yard. But what they prepared for was not what they saw in the ring. And it's like, yo, we just couldn't do anything. And salute to him. And as it stands right now, you couldn't do anything. The only person, and this is just a sidebar, that I saw potential with was David Morrell. It's just that I think David Morrell got at him too early. That's it. David Morrell needed a little more ring experience, but that's it. Everybody else got ran through, bro. It was bad. Real bad. JB, salute. Mook in that super chat, he says, this rule encourages boxers not to move up and just to fight for one belt forever instead of fighting for legacy. Yes. This is your main employer taxing your money from your side gig. Who signs up for that? And this is how the WBC covers their angles. This is how they maintain residual income. It's been exposed. Now, if it's in writing, there's nothing you could do about it unless you just what? Drop the titles. You see how this works? That, bro, there's nothing encouraging. Stormy says, worst part is thus has gone on. This has gone on too far, too long, and has been the type of revelation fighters should have revealed a long time ago. So public sentiment could be more supportive over this exploitation. That's what I'm saying, Stormy. How Mauricio's moving has become normalized. And that's why we're looking at it like, wait a minute. What the fuck? This don't make sense. But what y'all don't know is this has always been going on. It's normal. And with this turkey out of sheik thing is abnormal. It's abnormal to the sanctioning bodies. Now, for the most part, to my knowledge, the sanctioning bodies, except the WBC, they've all fallen into line. Queensberry fell in line. Matchroom fell in line. The PBC is drowning. They're done. Golden Boy, he's talking, but he's trying to, Oscar's going to fall in line. There's nothing he can do. Trying to form an alliance with Al Heyman. The ship is the Titanic. It has a hole in it. It's sinking. You're just not going to see it till it's too late. We seen it. Y'all hit the iceberg. I saw it. I'm out. Yo, that fucker gonna sink. No, it's not. All right, get me on the boat. Why are you leaving for? It's a big ass boat. This is gonna sink. There's people screaming downstairs. It's flooding. You stay here. I'm out. And when I'm 20 miles away, I see it endoing going down. I'm like, yo, see, told you. What's that boat over there? What does it say on the side? Riyadh. Okay, get me on that. I'm good. I'm alive. Y'all dead. Y'all in the water freezing. Y'all dead. I'm good. This is normalized. Exploitation. That's exactly what's been happening. But fighters been doing it for so long, they're like, yo, I don't know any other way. That's what I'm saying. Turkey Al-Sheikh is a cheat code. We needed this. Don't talk to me about no Muhammad Ali act. Y'all didn't care in the first damn place. Y'all didn't care. So this is the result. This is the result. Now, am I saying Turkey's perfect? No. But I'm going to say this. This is the change we needed. This is the change we needed. We're going to get the best fighting the best. Now, what do you want to do? Work for Turkey and fight for your position? As a fighter, you should look at those rankings and say, I beat everybody that's in front of me. I'm ranked number 8, but I beat him, I beat him, I beat him, I beat him several times in the amateurs. He ain't changed. He's just celebrated. Over there on Riyadh season, you're going to get a fair shot. If you're winning, you just move up in the rankings. That's just it. If you have a fan base, if your fan base is bigger than the person ahead of you, fine. All you got to do is win, so it's not going to matter. The person that has a fan base, he got to perform. You fuck around and be ranked number 1 with all his fans, and then by the time you go from 8 to mandatory, he got to win. The pressure's on him, not you. Let the fans love on you. But if he gets his ass whooped, then what? Nothing. Move back in that super chat. He says, and the promoter encourages fighters to get a belt, forcing them into more slavery to the system. 100%. 100%. That's why in this interview, you're going to hear Mauricio say, I'm for the promoters. You see how that works? Bob Arum, promoter, right? Top rank. WBO, hand in hand. WBC, pro promoter. Oscar, right? Mauricio SILLYMAN. You see that? They tried to sue Al Heyman for breaking the Muhammad Ali Act. You know where that fell short? You can't sue them. You know who has to sue them? The people that are getting screwed by them that works for him. And you can't sue Al because Al's an advisor. Man, Al was ahead of the game, man. It all came crashing down, but, you know, whatever. You fighters got to be smarter. Waffle, salute. He says, we should put together a doc exposing the sanctions. Man, it's all right in front of you, brother. We've been talking about this, brother. Oh, absolutely. The documentary is our live streams. We appreciated Al for what he did. He changed the game. He put all these sanctioning bodies on notice. The WBO, Golden Boy. Didn't Oscar own Ring Magazine for a little while? And like a smut, he sold it. Now Turkey owns it. And he's crying with his Botox. Man, let's get back to this. I got to get through this. Listen to this.
Which they, by the way, they can contest and say, no, we're not making this amount, we are making this. And we have done it many times. We have adjusted the sanction fees when the promoter or the manager or the fighter proves that it is less. Since we had zero communication from their side, we initiated that and we put 120,000 fee on a, they've been saying he made 7 or 10 million or whatever. We had zero response. The only response was, we receive it, we will address this later today.
Well, let me say this. Whatever the money was that he made, it's his money. He can do whatever he wants with it. Why do you believe, and look, this is in your rules. I'll give you that. I've read the rule that you're entitled to 50% if a fighter is fighting for a different sanctioning body, different weight class. I've read, it's in your rules. I'll agree with you there.
Or 3% if it's a special event.
Right. It also says market share too. Like the market value is what I'm keying on.
Did y'all hear that? And thank you, Queen Shawa. I'm about to put this up on the screen. Thank you so much. Did y'all just hear that shit? Hold on a minute. Listen to this.
in your rules. I'll give you that.
120,000 fee on a.
What?
They've been saying he made 7 or 10 million or whatever. We had zero response. The only response was, "We receive it. We will address this later today."
Well, let me say this. Whatever the money was that he made, it's his money. He can do whatever he wants with it. Why do you believe? And look, this is in your rules. I'll give you that. I've read the rule that you're entitled to 50% if a fighter is fighting for a different sanctioning body, different.
50%? What? What the fuck? Yo, who the fuck signs up for that? Yo, I pay to see the fighters. Did you know when Antonio Tarver fought Glenn Johnson, the opponent they had in common was Roy Jones? Business was preventing them from fighting. You know what they did? I'll tell you. They dumped their belts so they could fight on HBO. Who remembers that? They put business aside. They said, man, we're not going to let y'all fight. We're not letting y'all fight. They had to dump the belts. And they fought. And I said, I don't give a fuck about no belts. What's that, sanctioning fees for them? No. But let the fighters fight. And I watched it. I watched it. And I bet you they kept a majority of the bag. You know what? Next time I see Antonio Tarver, I'm gonna ask him about that. Did y'all know that? He had to, they dumped their, I forgot exactly how it went, forgive me. But they put business aside to get to the business. And I'm sure HBO made money and they made money, and the only person kicking themselves in the ass was a sanctioned body. What? I'm supposed to pay you so I could carry that damn belt to the ring? Fuck that belt. Why are y'all important anyway? You're going to see these big-ass fights sponsored by the WBC. Don't no one care about that. These kids today can't even tell you the lineage of any of these belts. Because according to Floyd, the belts only collect dust, right? That's what he said. Watch this. Let me dumb it down for y'all. Let me dumb it down. Tank fans, do you want to see Tank or the belt that he carries to the ring? And what color is it? Don't help him. What color is the belt that he carries to the ring? What color is it? Is it green? Is it black? Is it red? Is it hot pink? Like y'all want it to be? Coach in that super chat salute, he says, Shakur and Devin need to fight for the Ring Magazine belt and make a strong message that we are no longer supporting the WBC belts. Exactly. Everybody sanctioned that's ranked in the WBC after this, dump your damn belts. Your rankings don't matter. Oh my God, the rankings don't matter. You know why? How is Ryan Garcia getting a title shot? And he says it in this interview. We've been telling you it's a popularity contest, and Mauricio's gonna confirm it. Bro. Nobody should be ranked in the WBC after this. Listen to this. Just keep listening.
For weight class, I've read it's in your rules. I'll agree with you there.
Or 3% if it's a special event.
Right. It also says market share too. Like the market value is what I'm keying on here.
3% or market value, which means if you fight at an event and they know you're making 1.2 million, they're going to say, okay, we get 3% of that. But if you hot in these streets, like Ryan Garcia, because y'all are gay, right? And the event does $30 million, depending on who he's fighting. They're not going to take a flat fee. They're going to get whatever, I believe, 3% of the market value. So they ain't going to take 3% of 1.2. I mean, they could. But if they say, hey, man, that shit did 1 billion pay-per-view buys or whatever it is, They're going to take that. That's why it's carefully written. You see that? Everyone in the WBC, get out those rankings. In fact, if you get called up to fight whoever, don't do it. Everybody in the WBC rankings should email Turkey Al-Sheikh and say, yeah, man, where your ring at so we can kiss it? This guy's a crook. And Chris Mannix is going to put him on blast. This is how you know they sent him on a seek and destroy mission. Just listen to Chris. I told you, these journalists, they're paid smuts. They are paid smuts. Finally, Mannix always knew how to do his job, but he was loyal to who was paying him, the highest bidder. What these journalists are, let me explain who they are. They are insurance people. Anyone could purchase a policy if they can afford the premium. That's all they are. Which is why a lot of these journalists, they didn't talk bad about certain people where we be on here on YouTube and all the rest of social media screaming and hollering like, how do y'all not see this? They see it. They know. Steve Kung Fu Kim, Dan Raphael, they know. Chris Mannix, Akim Barak, they know. But this is the first time with a guy with real bread paying them money up front to say, yo, look, man, I want to put these guys out of business. What do you want me to do? Tell the truth. So it's not that this guy has integrity. He's just on the right side of history by way of a paycheck. So I don't trust these journalists either. It's just that the sun shined on the dog's ass during this interview. So let's go ahead.
The market value. Like, why do you really believe that the WBC should be entitled to $120,000, that your market value for that particular fight, which was for a WBA title, a Ring Magazine title, do you really believe that the WBC's belt...
WBO, Chris.
WBO, apologies. But do you really believe that the WBC's involvement, however, nominal...
Listen to the question.
...is worth $120,000?
It's worth $1 million or $1. It is not about the money.
It's a big difference.
It's not about the money. Why are you crying then?
Well, it's about the money to him. It's about the money to Shakur.
$120,000? Ain't that much principle in the world?
Well, he chose not to continue as WBC champion, and it was his decision.
That's not his decision. We got confirmation, and I believe them because I don't believe Mauricio SILLYMAN because he's a liar. Shakur never said he was vacating. He said y'all took it.
It is not about the money because it's the rule. Of course,
So then charge him $1. You said it could be $1, it could be $1 million. Charge Shakur $1 and high five him and say, good job. Can't wait for you to come back to 135 and defend this green belt because we love you. You see, Shakur, you're not Latin enough.
Fighter who is recognized
Shots fired.
By the WBC as a world champion has a market value, has a validity, has a seal of having a position in the boxing world at that time.
But you put a dollar figure on it. You said $120,000. You put an actual dollar figure on it. And so someone that watched that fight and fans of that fight, it's hard for me to wrap my head around $120,000 worth of value. Maybe there's some value, but $120,000 is a massive amount of money.
That is not a market value. That is a percentage based on a speculation of what he was making on the...
A percentage based on a speculation. Do you hear that? Do y'all know what speculation is? You got to listen to these dudes, man. Do you know what speculation means? I speculate that my brother ATX made $120,000, so I want 3% of his shit. And ATX is like, I don't know where he got that from. I only made 75. A percentage based off of speculation. He didn't say we asked Shakur how much he made. He didn't say we contacted the WBA and asked how much he made. He didn't say we spoke to Shakur and he showed us the books and said this is how much I made. He said speculation. He just said that. You gotta be kidding me. A speculation? This just, what's the title of my show? Mauricio SILLYMAN. Just let them talk. Did y'all hear that? A percentage based off of a speculation? You gotta, this is criminal. This is in the, oh my God. Who the fuck signed up for this? Everybody in the rankings? Somebody call Brian Norman Sr. and say, bro, get out the rankings. The fact that Ryan Garcia leapfrogged your son to get a shot at Mario Barrios is bullshit. Somebody call Senior right now and be like, yo, get your son out of there, bro. Nobody cares. Get him out of there. You still got the IBF, the WBO, and the WBA. No one cares. Get out of there. Somebody call Brian. Don't worry. I'm going to call Tay Jones today. Bro, get him out of there. That's disrespectful. If anybody deserves a shot at a title off the back, off of a loss, it's Brian Norman Jr. Where's the lie? Because Ryan Garcia damn sure don't deserve it. We all can agree on that. Plus, there's SILLYMAN, Soul Man, whatever, there's a guy there. Jack Catterall deserves it. There's several people in that ranking that deserves it more than Ryan Garcia, who just got there. What are you talking? And Mauricio is going to confirm what I said. It's a popularity contest. Let me read these super chats because I got to let this run. J. Bean, my brother, and that super chat says, the other sanctioning bodies stay quiet and thankful for whatever they get. Mauricio makes them look bad. Yes, but you know what? Brother, the sanctioning bodies, they got to stay out the way because this interview right here got people looking at it because there's a lot. I didn't understand. There's a lot of people that don't know shit. Y'all so mad at us for exposing the truth. Y'all get mad when we talk about Tyson Fury, but we reveal shit that y'all don't know, and then y'all just so content, not even content, y'all just so focused on winning a goddamn argument that y'all just disregard what we saying. Fine, don't listen to us until it happens to a fighter that you support. You see, gone are the days where your favorite fighter was benefiting off of the shenanigans from these sanctioning bodies. That shit over. That shit dead. It's over with. And you're hearing it in this interview. G. McCall in that super chat, he says, exactly, Drew. Dan Rafael is a prime example. Look how he went at Ryan. Yeah. But Ryan been who he is the whole time. These sanctioning bodies, WBC has been doing this for a long time. But we don't listen to the fighters because they punch drunk or they mad because they lost and, oh, I love this guy and I don't care. And all right, cool. Turkey Al Sheikh is the cheat code. He came in with real money and he said, you know what? All these fighters, they're prize fighters. They want money. I got it. They want money. I'm trying to restructure sports in my country. I'm letting up on some rules and stuff. You know, chicks ain't got to walk around with their heads wrapped up. You know, I want to be a major player in the sports industry. That's what I want to do. And these people are nervous because their business model is being exposed. So all I'm saying, my brother Rod Neal in that super chat, he says, it's not about money, but the rule is for money. Yes. This dude put a dollar amount on it. It could be $1 million to $1. You don't see value in Shakur carrying your belt? By the way, his team said Shakur never said he was gonna vacate the 135 title. Why don't you just let him do that? But it's in the rules that if you hold my title, you can't do anything without paying me, even if you ain't got nothing to do with what I got going on here. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. But let's proceed.
The money. If he had come back and said, my purse is X amount, we would modify it, as we have done in many cases.
So he's kind of being penalized for making a lot of money.
No. He's being requested to comply with the rules, Chris.
I get the rules, but it's like, should not, are these?
What the fuck? Dude, do you know he's trying to mind fuck him? Hey, bro, dude, listen, guys. I use the term word salad a lot. What you're seeing here is why I don't do debates on YouTube. You cannot, under any circumstances, BS me at all. It won't work. It won't work. You can't. You can't. I've debated people in the street, and based off of what they had to tell me, it determined whether those cuffs went on them or not. All right, we called here. They said you did this. We got witnesses here, here, and here. Based off of what you say, either these are going on or you walking off. I'm going to ask you, what happened? What happened? And based off of what they say, that determines whether they have a long weekend with a criminal record or they have a good one and walk off like, all right, that makes sense. Go on, get out of here. What makes you think some locker room lawyers, what we used to call them, locker room lawyers and pro debaters on YouTube, they got nothing for me? What you're listening to here, you're listening to listen to what he's saying. Listen to it. This is his truth. All you got to do is what? Let them talk. I'm not altering his words. He's telling you what it is. I'm just translating. There shouldn't be a boxing channel on planet Earth. I don't care if you hate the LDBC or whatever. Forget us. We ain't got nothing to do with this. I don't care if you hate me and you make a living off of disagreeing with me. I dare you to justify this interview by Mauricio SILLYMAN. I dare you. Justify it, please. The only thing I can say is the fighters signed up for this once they signed on the dotted line because these rules are etched in stone. But I'm addressing the rules because the rules have been normalized. But what we're finding out now is this is what they agreed to. This is a shitty deal. This is a shitty deal. This is crazy. This is normal? I think not. But let's get back to it.
That's the rules.
Well, but should
those are the rules?
Look, you bend your rules all the time. We can get
Here we go. Here we go. You bend your rules all the time.
to that. You bend your rules a
No,
lot.
no.
You
Tell
do.
me, tell me where we bend the rules.
I don't know.
When we bend the rules, I promise you, at this point, he wouldn't want to talk to me. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. You ain't got to curse everybody out. You hear I'm talking right now? You know, I'm emotional and I'm screaming and I'm talking with vigor right now because this is my channel. But if you think I can't conduct myself in a professional manner and talk like this, you're wrong. Because at this point, I'll be condescending. And I would have said the same thing that Mr. Mannix is saying. You bend your rules all the time. And Mauricio just asked, how do we bend the rules? Oh, Lord. And I think that Chris let him off the hook here, but let's hear what Chris has to say.
No, you let Jermall Charlo have his belt for over 2 years. That feels like not ordering a mandatory. You didn't. You let Canelo Alvarez was a champion at 168 for a long time. You didn't force David Benavidez fight. You didn't you bend your rules a lot, Mauricio. If we're being honest here, you bend your rules a lot.
Now Mauricio's pissed because he's waving hands at this point. Now, let me ask y'all a question. Did Chris Mannix just lie? Or was that fair? He didn't lie, bro. Now, he put that out there. Listen to this guy's response.
You are being judgmental.
Judgmental? No, dude, you did that. You did that. Y'all didn't see this? Y'all didn't, I'm glad I'm doing this. I'm glad I'm doing this. Stormy sent this to me. He said, brother, you gotta see this. I said, all right. You know, I was doing some shit around the house. Then I eventually put it on, and I'm like, oh my God. We're 10 minutes in, and Mannix is asking what we've been asking for the last how many years? And now, this white man, because when the black channels are saying this, we're haters, we're racist, and now this white man, backed by DAZN, a real journalist, is saying the same things or asking the same questions. We've not even asking the same questions. He didn't ask a question. He made a point. You bend the rules all the time. And he brought up two names. He didn't even. I'm ruining it right now, but he didn't even bring up the franchise status. He didn't even bring that up. But at this point, I'd have said that and asked him, hey, you know, Mauricio, what happened to the franchise status? Because if you look at my channel, I asked Steve Espinoza, hey, man, what happened to the franchise status? And he said, you know, look, I heard that Mauricio's getting rid of it. And I said, get it. And this is leading up to the Jamel Canelo fight. I was at the presser, and I asked Steve Espinoza, where's the franchise status? He says, look, I heard Mauricio's getting rid of it. I said, getting rid of it? I said, the franchise status is why we didn't get Jamal Charlo and Canelo in the first place. He said, yeah, I know. And he gave me some, you know, BS answer. But it's on my channel. Y'all forgot? Y'all Johnny-come-latelys. Y'all didn't know? The first franchise champion was Canelo Alvarez, and that was invented so he didn't get Jamal Charlo before all the brain issues. Y'all know that? But let's listen. Let's listen. Because Chris Mattis he's unzipped the body bag now. He's unzipped the body bag. And this motherfucker's on the ropes looking like Apollo Creed. Mauricio is. Let's hear what he has to say.
Why don't you open and listen to the rules and listen to my explanation?
We heard the rules. We heard the explanation. We just saying the rules are bullshit.
Okay.
Why do you go and accuse and just get to a conclusion? That is not correct.
We can go case by case, but the
Okay,
fact that
let's go case.
you never enforced a mandatory on Jamal Charlo for years.
Please.
That's a fact.
That's fact.
Please let me talk.
Now he's saying, let me talk. Chris Mannix hasn't been rude to him. He let him interject. Now he's saying, let me talk.
I think I deserve the courtesy, if I'm in your program, to be able to talk.
Now he's discussing, man, now he wants to discuss demeanor. This is what people do when they're losing an argument or a debate. You see it on my brother BFTB's panels all the time. Why you put me backstage? Why you put me backstage? Why don't you let me talk? How many times you saw the brother BF have to ask a question multiple times and these motherfuckers try and walk him around the block? Just answer the damn question. BF will say, hey man, you know, look, why didn't Bud go the WBC route? Was it WBC or the WBO? I think it was a WBO route. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. When Bud first went to 147, he could have fought Errol immediately. And when BF asked Bomac said, we went the other way because it was easier. I watched it. It was on someone else's platform. And I almost crashed my car. I said, oh shit. Bomac really said that out loud? Because the fact is, Bud, at his first stint at 147, he could have fought Errol immediately. That's just the fact. So when the question came up on his show, and he'll ask a random fan, why didn't Bud fight Errol when he first got to 147? Well, you know, BF, I think you a hater. Then he'll throw his ass backstage. He'll ask him the same question again. Why didn't Bud fight Errol as soon as he got the 47? Well, come on, BF. You know that fight needed to marinate. Then he'll put him backstage again. Why didn't Bud fight Errol when he first came to 147? Well, BF, you a bitch ass. See, and then we gotta deal with that. You see? That's what Mauricio's doing right now. He's the victim now. Frida's marching that super chat salute. He says, sound like Chris been watching the LDBC. Mauricio gaslighting like he big dog. You know what it is, Freedom to watch? These guys, they do watch us, but you know what? It's what I said earlier. They know what we know, but depending on who's paying them, they're not going to say what we say. That's why what we do here is important. I say that all the time. We're not on anyone's payroll. We go where the facts take us. We can have a favorite fighter, but if our favorite fighter's effing off, we're going to say, listen, I fuck with this guy or I fuck with this girl, but they were supposed to take that fight. And then you'll have unconditional fans that pop up, oh, why you turning on so-and-so? Why you flipping? No, we're not turning on so-and-so. He or she was supposed to do this, and they didn't do it. And then all of a sudden, we turn into haters. I'm not a hired gun. I'm not a hired gun. Coach says it's a damn shame that it took Chris Maddox to do this. You know what's crazy, Coach? We've been doing this for years. Now, Maddox is going to be labeled a hero for this. But we've been talking about this for over a decade. It's like Floyd Mayweather was called a coward and gay runner for wanting OSDT for the Manny Pacquiao fight. It took 4 years to get that fight done because Manny did not want to take OSDT. Never mind the fact that as soon as the question of OSDT came up, his knockout streak stopped. Now, y'all can say he's never been caught for juicing, but we know what we saw. We couldn't prove it by way of the book, but we know what we was looking at. Right? There was no proof other than what we saw. So we could put 2 and 2 together. More on that on Simeon Saturday. I'm going to do a live on Simeon Saturday, and I'm going to open up the panel. Watch my Simeon Saturday show. You're going to see just what I'm talking about. You're going to see just what I'm talking about. And then when the fight gets made, they throw the mic in front of Freddie Roach. What does he say? We could have had the fight 3 or 4 years ago, but we couldn't agree on the drug testing. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, yo, bro? 4 years of getting called the N-bomb and gay runner and all this other stuff. And all we said was to be the best, take the test, take the drug test, and punch Floyd in the face and prove you're better than him. That's all I ever said. And then we got into the race thing. And in 2 seconds, Freddie Roach proved us right. But Floyd was never extended that courtesy. You know who was extending that courtesy? My brother, Nonito Donaire. He said, fuck that. I'm on 24/7, OSDT. And the media said he's a hero for that. Paulie Max said, boxing's dirty. A lot of fighters are dirty. Nobody said anything. My brother Nonito says, I'm doing OSDT. Random testing. He's praised for that. Floyd said, I want the same thing. He got ridiculed for that. You see how this works? So it don't matter what we say here, because we're just a bunch of complaining black people. And the other black people, it's profitable for them to go against what we're saying. Or I want to distance myself. I want this YouTube money, and I want to be accepted by these white people. Oh, no, I'm not a complainer. I think Manny's better than Floyd. I think he's going to win. I think he's going to win. I don't want to be no Wakandan. I don't know Wakandan. Scratching your armpits. You nappy-headed knuckle dragger, scratching your armpits. Literally the size of a circus monkey with a high-pitched voice. A 12-year-old with a beard. I ain't overconding. Yeah. Where did it get you? Let's get back to this. So before you shout out Chris Mannix, remember, he's just saying what we've been saying. But now we're back to Mauricio. Now he's being the victim and not being allowed to speak on Mannix's show. Oh, show me the courtesy. I'm on your show. Okay. He hasn't overtalked him. In fact, Mauricio's been the one interjecting the whole time, but let's get back to it.
Jermell Charlo. Jermall was scheduled to fight, and he got injured. He was going to make his title defense. He got injured, so the fight was postponed. Then he became in a very difficult mental health problem.
I need you to listen to what he says here. This is very important, y'all.
So he got completely out of, he was completely disturbed in his person. The WBC ordered an interim championship with Adames in order to have the division active. I met with Jermell Charlo several times, and I promised him. He told me that the only thing in life keeping him from making a stupid decision like killing himself was because he was a WBC champion. And I saw and I met him and his wife, and I promised him to have the full WBC support until he got his mental situation better. And if you're gonna blame that for me and say that I break the rules, I take it.
Did y'all just hear that? No smoke, my brother, salute. Did y'all just hear that bullshit? Let me ask y'all a question. Basically, let me dissect what he just said. He met with Jermall several times, him and his wife, and he said, Mauricio, the only thing keeping me alive and to keep me from deleting myself was this green belt. 2 years he had that green belt. And Mauricio's basically saying, I let him hold on to that green belt because if I took it from him, I was afraid he was going to delete himself. Did he ever mention I recommended him to get some therapy, some counseling? Let me explain something to you. As a business owner, whether I had a Zoom meeting or went to his house or he came to my place of business and he tells me that in my office, I don't know if the meeting took place in his office or over the phone or whatever. I'm sure he has his personal address. If he came to my office, he's not leaving there. I'd be like, okay, hold on. I have to get to drink of water. I'd leave out of there and I'd tell my secretary, call 911. This motherfucker told me if I take my strap off of him, he gonna kill himself. That's not normal. Get him some help. He's not killing himself based off of a meeting. If he kills himself, and the last thing that when they ask what happened, and his wife says, oh, Mauricio said he's taking the belt, and he was sad, he killed himself. You ain't putting my name in no media like that. What they're gonna say is, he said that, and I called 911 to get him some psychological help, because that's not normal. I wouldn't have a problem if he had said that. If I went to his house to have a meeting, I would go in the bathroom. Yeah, I'm at 123 Mockingbird Lane. This man's talking about he's going to kill himself if I take back my property. Get an ambulance here immediately. He's not well. That's it. That's it. Did he offer him any kind of psychological help? And we knew when Jermall cracked. He's on interviews crying. I said, what the fuck's wrong with him? You knew there was something wrong with him. Man, get him some psychological help. Take your shit back. You let him hold that belt for 2 years because he was a crackpot? No. You know what I think it was? What did I tell y'all it was? Y'all remember me saying, no, he let him hold that belt for symbolic reasons. You know why? he didn't want anybody taking that belt off of him unless it was Canelo. Now, he got one Charlo. Do you remember after he beat Mel? Remember how, and it was very brief. Do you remember how Canelo was smashing the gas on Jamal? Remember that? Fuck Benavidez. Now I want Jamal Charlo. We was like, yo, Jamal, he's still not well mentally. I know he came back and won his fight, but he's still, we don't know what kind of Maul that is. This is not the Maul from 5 years ago. We know that. Now you want to fight him? Remember that? And we were like, hell nah. Now you want him? No, give us Maul, give us Maul, give us, no. That's why he let Maul have that belt. Because when Canelo closes the book on his career finally, all y'all gonna see 2 decades from now is he fought both Charlos and beat him. That's all he wanted. But he ain't gonna say that shit. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Oh, thank you, Mook. Why didn't he strip it? Why didn't he say, oh, Jamal, let's take that. I give you franchise. And when you're ready to come back, you can come back and fight at any division. And this is a special concept, a special privilege. This here better than the one I got. This is special. And I will have a ceremony and give this to you. I see the play. Ridiculous. But let's hear what this clown has to say.
I took the fighter's life and I took the fighter's sentiment and did not affect anyone in doing so.
He didn't call and get this motherfucker some help because he'd have said it. As a matter of fact, if he's telling you, I'm going to kill myself if you take this belt, he should have been on, that should have been news and say, yo, look, this man needs some help. He going to kill himself over a fucking belt? That belt don't define your career. And you know what? Now that he's put this out, I need anybody who knows them to reach out to Maul and say, oh, Maul, is that true? I just want to know, because it could be true. Hey, Maul, did you say that? Did you say that?
You want to talk about Canelo Alvarez? Benavidez, same thing. Canelo was a champion. Benavidez accepted to fight an interim championship. And when...
Hey, man, how long was Benavidez Canelo's mandatory? How long? Put it in the chat.
He fought on March of 23, I think. He had... That was the final elimination for the mandatory position that would take place 1 year later. Before that year later that we were to enforce the fight, he moved up to light heavyweight.
Oh my God, this dude is a liar, bruh. So right when they were gonna order it, he's saying that David moved up. Right when this guy's lying. He is lying. And plus, you do whatever it is you want to do. You could have ordered that fight. You know how I know he's lying? The last time they ordered Canelo to do anything, what did Canelo do? He dropped the belt. That was what made me, I had to stop being a Canelo supporter. Y'all remember the Gennady Golovkin shit? Y'all remember that? Dude, I was a Canelo guy. I told y'all. Thomas told y'all. When they first made the first Golovkin fight, it was at the theater. I'm at the theater with a bunch of Mexicans waving the Viva Mexico. I'm waving their flag. They're like, hey, hey. I said, Canelo got this. But prior to that, when Mauricio said, hey, Golovkin's up, you got to fight him, what did Canelo do? Fuck you, man. You don't tell me what to do. And he dropped that damn belt, didn't he? The belt didn't define Canelo. He's bigger than the belt. You remember Golovkin talking about, hey, no, guys, just give me my belt. He gave it to him. No one called Golovkin the email champion. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No one called Golovkin the email champion. Just give me my belt. He said, take it. No one called Canelo a coward. No one called Golovkin the email champion. So the next time around, Mauricio did what was good for business. They let Canelo fight Amir Khan as if we didn't know how that was going to end. It ended just how we said it would. Like, yo, Canelo gonna knock this dude out. It's gonna be ugly. That's just how it happened. And then the next time the opportunity came around, he has to do what's good for business. You know what he did? Maul was the mandatory. That fight was next. Canelo didn't want the smoke. So how do we do what's best for business? I know. I invent a new concept. What was that concept? The franchise status. Stop me when I'm lying. And I'm like, okay, well, what is this? It's a new concept. You can move up in weight. You have to be voted on. You have to vote. Fighter has to do request. Wait a minute. It's a new concept. And a fighter has to request, and the WBC board has to vote on it. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't know how many people applied for a franchise status. I don't know. But y'all say that a fighter has to request it. So you send out a letter or email to everybody in the WBC rankings of all weights, even that god-awful Bridger weight. Y'all remember Bridger weight? You know, the Bridger weight that they try and stick Deontay Wilder in? You remember that? But you know, that's gone, right? Okay, whatever. It's gone. Whatever. You see that shit? Bridger weight, white. So you get that, right? And magically, you have no mandatories. No mandatories. So when y'all ask what happened to Jamal versus Canelo, you need to ask Canelo and Mauricio SILLYMAN. I said, okay, I don't care about that. Well, they're going to fight next, right? No. He vacated the real belt. The real belt. Accepted this made up fraudulent shit, and I told y'all it was fraudulent, and he never fought Jamal. And only the WBC celebrated that, and Canelo's punk ass fans. Now, how the hell am I supposed to support that? And I was a Canelo guy, y'all. How do I support that in good faith? How? And that was when I let this guy go. That right there was when I let Canelo go. I said, I can't support that, bro. I can't. And since then, we've had 2 more franchise champions. I can't tell you what homie at the booger weight did, but I can tell you what Lomachenko did. I can tell you that. Right? But this guy's the victim.
I can give you all the timeline of each case that you would like to discuss if you give me the opportunity, and don't judge me without knowing the facts.
You know what? You know what Mauricio sounds like? He sounds like a bitch that cheated that got caught. And you politely sit her down and just say, yo, explain yourself. You come home, brothers. You come home and you catch her bent over the couch that you paid for. And she getting smashed. Fellas, don't lose your cool. You don't know homie, but you know he ain't breaking the house. You was working a double and the boss canceled overtime and you just came home early. And your girl is bent over that couch and he's going to town. He's long dicking her. You walk in, oops. Fellas, don't lose your cool. She was never yours. And that wasn't the first time that happened. Don't lose your cool, bro. You got a lot to lose. Keep it meek. Hey, bro, get dressed. Get out my house. That's it. That's your only conversation. If he wants to escalate and act super thug, then you handle it. But normally, get dressed, and he could talk shit on the way out. Make sure he's out your place, though. Keep it meek. Just ask her. What was that about? And now she's saying shit like, you work too much. Meanwhile, she don't work. You don't spend time with me. because I'm paying for all of this shit in the house. You're not romantic anymore. Well, you just getting plowed on the house, plowed on my couch that I paid for. Where's the romance in that? And the whole time she's explaining herself what you need to be doing, packing her bags. Yeah, pack that. Yeah, okay, yeah. Pack your bags. Hey, Y'all remember Walking in the Rain, Orange Juice Jones? Once you get confirmation that she ain't shit, kick her out. You don't sacrifice your freedom. You don't sacrifice your life. Being physical or catching an STD that can kill you and ruin your life. Tell her to pack her shit and leave. That's it. On to the next. Mauricio sounds like a girl that got caught cheating, trying to gaslight you. It's your fault that I was getting bent over the couch, getting blazed. Get out of here.
I'm not, well, you just said, and if I'm hearing you correctly, that you thought Jermall Charlo might commit suicide if he had his belt taken from him?
I need confirmation, bro. Somebody right now needs to be contacting Jermall and asking him, is that true? And if he says it's not true, you still got to take that with a grain of salt because his ass crazy anyway. But I want to know more about this.
Okay.
And I want to know why he didn't call the psych ward to get him help. Why are we just now knowing about this? Because he could have still went home and said, hey, I don't believe it. He's going to strip me, and still offed himself. And the question would have been, Mauricio, why didn't you call 911? Why didn't you call the psych ward? So even if Mauricio's telling the truth, he didn't handle it correctly. But I digress.
I mean, that's serious stuff. I know he was dealing with some stuff. That's certainly some serious stuff. So
it's very clear. It was public. He had huge problems.
I never heard it that he said he was going to kill himself. It wasn't public. I never heard that he was going to kill himself if the belt was taken from him. That's what Mauricio SILLYMAN is saying right now.
In his personal life,
I covered it.
Support him. We opted to support him. If you're going to crucify us for that, so be it. I'll take it.
I'm crucifying that you didn't handle that correctly, dummy.
Take it.
Well, the Benavidez had an interim title for a while. There were opportunities for you to order.
Paul Benavidez put him on the line.
That they didn't get. You think he didn't want that shot?
Do you hear this, dude?
He moved up in weight before we ordered the fight.
This guy is, oh my God. I'd have politely said, Mauricio, that's not true. He was his mandatory for like 2.5 years, man. And this is the WBC, and you always talk about doing what's best for business. There's no way in the world that you didn't order that. You know why, Mauricio? How I know you do what you want to do? When it was time for Jermall to fight Canelo, you invented the franchise status, and that fight never happened. And there was no explanation as to why you did that. When it was time for Vasily Lomachenko to fight Devin the Dream Haney, another franchise status was invented. And Loma went on to fight Tio to lose. And Devin was left holding a bag, ridiculed for being called the email champion, with disregard to the sanctioning body that granted that request and the person that sent the email. And as a sidebar, Mauricio, the original rules was that the original rules was that when you are a franchise status, you don't lose it. You can't lose it in the ring. You have it for life. And as soon as Loma lost to Lopez, the rules changed and it became transferable. Can you explain that? And he'd have turned flush red.
So you're saying you were about to order the fight. He moved up in weight because he didn't think he was ever going to get that fight.
That's why he moved up in weight. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Mook in that super chat, he says, you without me is like cornflakes without the milk. QJ Jones, yes, yes. Orange juice, yes. Yes. Cornflakes without the milk. My God, all you got to do is let them talk.
That's what you think.
That's what he says.
That's what he says. Who's lying? David or Mauricio? We know he wanted that fight. He was mandatory for like 2.5 years. And then Canelo said all he has to offer on fight night is an additional 20 pounds. Question. Edgar Berlanga was like damn near 200 pounds on fight night. That bout was at 168. He rehydrated to like 198. That's the word. Benavidez went to 175, rehydrated 3 pounds lighter than Berlanga was when he fought Canelo. When Benavidez went up to 175 and fought Vostik, he was 3 pounds lighter than Berlanga at a heavier weight. Canelo, what's up with that? All right.
He says it over and over again. He said it publicly. He never thought he'd get the Canelo fight.
He never thought that Canelo would fight him, maybe.
503 salute.
Yeah, but should you have not ordered that?
That's the question. Should you have not ordered that? That's the question.
Like said, do it.
Because it was not time.
What? Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Oh. This is the part where we say, Jesus, take the wheel. Now, this is my platform, so I'm getting all animated and screaming. But trust and believe, if I was sitting in front of this dude, I wouldn't be like that. I could be professional. 2.5 years? You didn't mandate it, but you invent statuses to move people around, but you couldn't order. And like I said, I want y'all to remember, because a lot of these Johnny-come-latelys, they weren't around when Golovkin was popping. When it was time for Canelo to fight Golovkin, Mauricio said, fight him now. He said, F you, and he gave up the belt. You know how I know he did that? Because when I got on Facebook, they dragged me. And guess what? Justifiably so. How do I defend that? What you got, Drew? What you got? I said nothing. Maybe I have more faith in Canelo's skills than he does. I didn't sit up there and argue with them. He dropped the belt. How do you defend that? I wasn't doing that. I said, nah. I'm not going to start talking business. Oh, well, the fight's not ready and, business-wise and seat sales. I ain't getting all of that. I said, yo, bro, he's supposed to fight him. And it was over with. I said, no. Let everybody else in the chats argue. I wasn't arguing that. I said, yo, bro. Look, he might be scared, bro. Maybe I have more faith in his abilities than he does. That's exactly what I said. I was not about to play myself and start talking like, hey, man, you. No, I was not, bro. I'm not foolish like that. It's black and white. Yo, he's gonna bust Golovkin's ass. Yo, he just vacated the belt. I was like, what? Where's my button?
What?
Your man vacated the belt. I did some research. I said, why the fuck he did that? You tell me. I said, bro, he might be scared. I said, I don't know why. I thought skill set wise, he's gonna smoke Gennady Golovkin. But that fight's supposed to be next. What is he doing? And I don't care if there's another money opportunity anywhere else. That was the fight, and he dumped the belt. There's no justifying that. And then it was time later on, when it was time for him to fight Jamal, and they invented a status. This time, he didn't want to fall out of grace with Canelo because Canelo's good for business. He invented a status so that he didn't have to fight him. And I said, what's this franchise shit? Wait a minute, he's not fucking Maul? I said, no, I'm fucking Maul. He's not going to fuck up Maul? I had Jamal winning that fight, by the way. I did. I had Jamal winning that fight. At that time, I had Jamal winning that fight. But I needed to see it. And I still was fucking with, after the Golovkin thing, they eventually fought or whatever, and it happened, but he did it. This was the second time, and they invented a status for him to move around. That's how I knew they do what's good for business. And I said, you know what, man? No Lara rematch. You duck Boo Boo Andrade. You duck Golovkin the first time, then you fight him, and then you spin the block with this Jamal shit, the franchise shit. I can't fuck with Canelo. And that's why I stopped fucking with Canelo. And insult to injury, this Benavidez shit. So when people say, why are you hating on Canelo? Because Canelo's not giving me what I want as a supporter of the sport. That's it. I keep it boxing. The WBC keeps it business. How many times did they financially penalize Canelo for doing some stupid shit? You couldn't force the Benavidez fight? You know why? Because you know what happened when you tried to force the Golovkin fight. And the Jamal Charlo shit, you invented a status so your man could avoid him. Your man. That's not boxing. That's business. I hate the business of boxing. I understand it, but I hate it.
And I'll send you all the reports that I explained. When we were supposed to order in March 2024 or 2024, he moved up in weight, Chris.
Well, this raises the subject, Mauricio, and I was going to get to this. This raised the subject of the interim championship. Now, interim, I'd like to know, what is your criteria for creating an interim championship?
The original criteria is when a fighter is not available to defend his championship for medical, legal.
He skipped the franchise shit, man. That was, oh my God, that was the pipe bomb right there. But I'll go ahead.
Or other circumstances that are proven, you order an interim championship.
Okay, well, let me just, I'll give you a second. I just wanted to follow up on that.
Yeah.
You currently, to my reading here, you currently have interim champions at heavyweight, junior middleweight, junior welterweight, and flyweight. These are all divisions with active champions that are out there fighting either in recent months or scheduled to fight in recent months. Why should this be described as anything as a way for the WBC to collect a fee for a fake title?
Okay. You opt to say and to go through the money again. And you have a very big problem with money because it is not about money. The WBC has taken a stance to try the best for the industry, for the promoters, and for the fighters.
You heard that? Best for the industry, for the promoters, and for the fighters. Listen to the order. The industry, the promoters, and the fighters. The fighters are last. You see that? Let them talk. That wasn't no mistake. He didn't say we got to do what's best for the fighters. He said the industry, then the promoters, then the fighters. You heard that? Pay attention to detail.
I'm not going to talk about the heavyweight division. We took a stance in order to make our best possible effort to land at a undisputed heavyweight championship fight.
You full of shit.
That goes back to Wilder.
Bro, he said that goes back. Yo, hold on. Wait a fucking, you gotta see this. You gotta see this. I'm gonna let you see. Yo, God ain't fucking with y'all. You need to see this. When he says that goes back to Wilder, look what he does. Oh my God. Clip this. Watch this.
At a undisputed heavyweight championship fight. That goes back to Wilder. Sorry. We have...
God blazed him just now. Look at, bro. You can't write shit like this.
Heavyweight championship fight. That goes back to Wilder. Sorry.
Shots. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? You saw that? You can't write better stuff than this.
We had the Usyk, who was the champion after beating Joshua, and we had Fury as the WBC champion. We took one complete year without Fury defending his title, waiting as we proposed that we wanted the undisputed. So,
can I ask y'all a question? Did they smash the gas as thorough when Deontay Wilder was on 10 title defenses? Did they smash the gas on the Anthony Joshua situation? Did they? No. But you know what this motherfucker did? Yeah, I want a body on my record. Yeah, let's launch an investigation because he said something like that. That's what they did do. Wilder wasn't good for business for this guy. This man lied and said I was in both locker rooms. To say that Tyson Fury cheated is an insult, whatever the fuck he said. Check my channel. And the man said I was in both locker rooms and saw the gloves. Then when he got on Fred's show, I asked him the same question, and he said something else. But meanwhile, what he said is in writing, and called us stupid for the cheating accusations. This guy's such a liar.
he fought, and we sanctioned the undisputed fight, including a rematch. That was the WBC ruling. So Usyk defeated Fury, and they had the rematch. The next fight wanted by the public, by the whole world, was again to take the undisputed because he had lost the IBF title. So the WBC created and ordered the interim title for Ajit Caballel, who had been winning consistently. If you recall, the past 2 years, there was many heavyweight fights. All the fighters moved on in their losing and winning. Caballel was the one active. So the WBC approved an interim title for the heavyweight division to continue active in the WBC while supporting completely the undisputed champion. If we were about money, as you always mention, and fees, look how long Fury took to defend. Look how long Usyk now, since his last fight, we're giving him a voluntary defense. He can select the best fight for him and the industry, and then he will fight the interim.
Did you hear what he just said? Let me bring that back. Like I said, bro, you got to listen when these guys talk. Listen to what he just said. Listen to what he just said. Listen to what he just said. Listen.
Voluntary defense, he can select the best fight for him and the industry, and then he will fight the interim champion Caballel.
Select the best fight for him in the industry. Why is Ryan Garcia leapfrogging at least 15 people in the WBC rankings to fight Barrios? Because he feels it's what's best for the industry. Ryan didn't earn it, but he's good for business. What is business? Translation, money. This guy's just talking, bro. Word salad. Word salad. This is why I don't do debates. I see through the bullshit. When we ask, why is Mellow Yellow so popular? And we're talking about rankings and contemporaries. What is the other conversation? Chrome hearts, braided hair, and tattoos. You see what I mean? We're having two different conversations. I'm talking about what's good for the sport. Y'all are talking about this.
Man crush.
Which is why I say his fans, or equivalent to girls that I grew up with in junior high school, when I used to buy Word Up magazine and Right On magazine, and I wanted to know what was going on in the hip hop and R&B public, because there was no internet back then. All those girls in the playground wanted from my magazine was the posters of LL Cool J with his shirt off, and New Edition, Ralph Tresvant, Albie Shaw. They just wanted those posters. You know why I gave it to them? I'm gonna tell you why. How the fuck I look walking around with LL Cool J with his shirt off, it hung up in my goddamn bedroom.
What are you, a homo?
I ain't like them. I was fans, but I ain't like them like that. Take the goddamn poster. What am I going to do with it? Take it. Take it. I don't care. I'm reading what's going on in the industry. I don't care about this dude with his shirt off. I don't care about Al B. Short's unibrow. Take it. I'm reading here. Take it. I'm talking about fighting the best. You talking about chrome hearts and tattoos. We're having two different conversations. Y'all are gay. I'm not. Ego's 4-page love letter about why he likes Tank Davis. You read it yourself. I couldn't believe that he wrote that and actually made a video on it and put it in writing. I'm reading it like, oh my God, he really did that? But what's the title of my show this morning? Just let them talk. Just like K-Ho. He said the quiet part out loud. I literally hope that Devin doesn't get any opportunities. I forget his exact words, but that's what he said. So I'm like, whoa, what's that about? He never said, I hope Devin gets to fight his contemporaries and proves he's the best. I hope him and Tank finally mix it up so Tank can knock him out. He didn't say that. He hoped Devin misses every opportunity. And then when we say, man, we pulling your black card. Because the black fighters could corner the market right now. Since everything else is about race, why is it that the Mexicans could pound on their chest, talk about Viva Mexico? That's fine. Love your country. Love yourself. Break bread with your contemporaries. Viva Puerto Rico. I have no problem with that. It's only a problem when we do it. But when we look at us, we're trying to fuck each other up every turn. So for K-Ho to be a reputable boxing channel, to say something like that, it's personal. And I asked you, what did Devin do wrong? Oh, you know what he did wrong? Try to fight his contemporaries. Because everybody on that list has an excuse. His fans. Every fighter on that list has a network of fans that justifies them not fighting Devin Haney. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. From Shakur to Active Squad, all these, we're dealing with it right now. With Keyshawn, we're dealing with it right now. Right now, in real time. I'm going to give it about another week, and I'm going to have to, jump in Shakur. Shakur and Keyshawn shit. Amazing. Give me 1 second. Stormy says, Jack Reese did what was best for boxing. That means he got those sentiments from SILLYMAN. More proof of corruption. He followed orders. Did y'all get what I just said? Stormy just text me that. When Jack Reese said, do what's good for boxing. And we pointed out and talked about a long count. And how Fury was allowed to leave the country during the pandemic and avoid VADA testing. And padding removed from gloves. And Jack Reese says, I did what was good, what was best for boxing. Under the banner of the WBC. Is it making sense now? And we said, yo, listen, man. Deontay wasn't only fighting against an opponent, a cheating opponent in the ring, but that opponent had the machine behind him. What's the machine? Daniel Kennedy, MTK Global. The WBC. What's good for business? Courtesy was extended to Usyk, extended to Fury, not to Deontay. All we said was, hey, man, go check those gloves. I told this motherfucker, I said, do you know where the gloves are? He said, no. I said, in Sugar Hill's house. Because Sugar Hill told Fred, yeah, they have the gloves from the second Fury fight is in my house. So I asked this motherfucker, I said, where the gloves at? I don't know. I said, I know where they are. He said, where? I said, in Sugar Hill's house. Go have a look at it. Y'all were watching. I have it on my video. I have the show. I have it saved in my channel. Did he do it? No. Franchon Cruz discerned. Was she extended any courtesy? We say, hey, man, was Alejandro her man ass? Was she drug tested? Drew bully her because she gay. No. We know she gay. She lets us know it. That's her girlfriend right there. All we asked was she drug tested? Yes or no? Drew don't like her because she gay. No. Answer the question. And what happened? The drugs test came back with adverse findings. Oh, there's a problem right there. She was trying to grow a penis.
Get your hand off my penis!
And she popped dirty. Took this man a month to get Franchon Cruz to turn back her belt. Hey, man, don't go down to Dubai and talk to Daniel Kinahan. That guy's a cartel leader. What did he tell us? I don't care. I judge Kinahan based off what he do for boxing moving forward. I'm not Interpol. I'm not the police. Literally a week later, $5 million bounty on his head. I think I made a mistake. When does it end with this guy? It doesn't. Watch this, y'all. Stop me when I'm lying. I know I got a lot of haters watching me. Somebody's gonna probably fair use and review what I have to say. Oh, Drew screaming again. You always focus on my demeanor. Men talk with bass in their voice. Men raise their voice when they're talking. We might get a little belligerent with one another. They don't have to get physical, but I'm making a point right here. But never mind the production, prove me when I'm wrong. You might not like how I scream and holler and yell. It's my goddamn show. I do what I want to do. But focus on the topic. I say it all the time. Stop me when I'm lying. Mook, you stupid. He said clitoris the size of my forearm. Exactly, no smoke. Like females, they focus on the tone and not the message. This guy's a liar, bro.
So I can give you an explanation of every single interim championship.
Hold on. All right, then, okay. Adji Caballel just fought in January. Alexander Usyk right now does not have a fight scheduled. Why is Caballel not being ordered to fight Usyk right now?
The ruling at the convention, Usyk requested a voluntary title defense, which was granted, and Caballel had the title defense. He can do another fight if he likes, or just wait until Usyk fights, and then we order the mandatory fight.
But that would be almost 2 years after Caballel originally won this title. Usyk.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that? And you see, y'all accept it because this is just how it's always been. If you're born into slavery, and from the time you're born to by the time you're 15, it's normalized getting whooped by the white man. It's normalized watching your mama getting raped by the master. And you wonder why all your siblings are light-skinned and they get to stay in the house while you're out in the barn. But it's normalized. You've been conditioned, but you don't know that that's wrong. 2 years? Yo, man, Adji Caballel can F around and fight Justin Hooney that was serving a truck. Fabio Wardley, and if Wardley doesn't pull the hat trick and knock him out, I think Wardley was losing on the cards. Adji could have a bad night or just run into somebody, one of those Europeans that just got his number, and boom, he loses. And Adji is not a big enough name over here for us to even care. We were like, man, Caballel could do this. We're like, yo, didn't he just lose to Snitchel Maki? That's a nobody. Like, huh? But we know the truth. 2 years? That's a damn good fight. Caballel versus Usyk. Make it now. Make it now. But once again, they're doing what's best for business. Mannix hit him with the truth. And you see, TKO, you ain't gonna have to worry about that. If you in line, you're getting the fight. If you're in line, you're getting the fight. But this motherfucker's talking about doing what's good for business. And this is what we've been saying the whole time. What's good for business is not good for the sport, because business means lining their pockets with money. Oh, I'll give you an interim title. Oh, the guy that holds the belt can do what they want to do for one fight and then spin the block and fight the mandatory. That's good for them. That's not good for us. But if you came up in this era, you think this is normalized. And I'm telling you it's not. I had Prez on the panel the other week, and I asked him, what do you want Melo Yoda to do if he goes to 140? He says, get as much money as he can. That was his response. And I said, what? I want him to make as much money as he can. That's your answer? Not beat up Devin Haney, not beat up Shakur, not beat up Keyshawn, not beat up Tiafimo, not lure Lomachenko out of retirement. He said, move up and get as much money as you can. That was his response. You see what I mean? We're having two different conversations. That's what I'm saying. People have to qualify to talk this business with you, the sport. The sport is a business. And when they start talking business, they don't know why they're saying what they're saying. You know why? Because this behavior has become what? Normalized. O.C. Felton, yeah, I play that all the time. Rio Togo beat LaBarbie's ass, and the gloves were skinned, and they were on his desk the next day. And he did his job. Mauricio did his job. But his 10-title defending American black champion wasn't extended the same courtesy. See what I mean? Man.
I think is probably not going to fight until the summer of this year. So then Caballel's going to have to wait 2 years to fight for his heavyweight title?
He's very happy fighting for the interim and making a...
Oh my God, answer the question. Fuck if he's happy. What about ordering Caballel versus Usyk? 2 years?
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I don't think he's very happy fighting for the interim. But is anybody, look, logically, is anybody happy fighting for interim titles?
Mind you, he's collecting fees off of these interim titles. You're not getting a mandatory, but we're going to give you this interim so you can walk around with our green belt. It's not the real belt. You can walk around with it. Meanwhile, pay us 3% or whatever it is for the interim.
All of them. Otherwise, they would not fight for the interim.
Because they think it's a step to the next one.
Exactly. You're fighting for the interim thinking that you're going to be next in line. But you're letting the champion do what they want to do because it's better for your business. You see the point? You see the play?
I think they're getting ordered to fight for a full title.
Why does it have to be on your times?
I'm giving you a whole lot of time, like a year, 2 years.
No, he fought, he defended, he just defended and became a hero in a
great event.
Germany.
Great event. Loved it. Huge event.
He had not been in he had his home welcome in Germany.
Man, fuck that. Why don't you bring Ajit Caballel and introduce him to the American audience so we can I know who he is. But why not introduce him to the American audience, man? You brought him to Germany, had a good turnout, but you know what? What are the fees on an interim title? You see what I mean? This guy's collecting money off of these. What happened to the silver title? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that Asian dude that was at Bridgerweight with the pot belly? I did a whole live on that. I said, this is Bridgerweight? They want Deontay to go to Bridgerweight and knock this dude out in 18 seconds? That's what y'all want? Deontay go to Bridgerweight, knocks this dude out. Oh, well, who was that? Of course Deontay's going to beat him. There's something called cruiserweight. When Deontay clowned around and said, I'm going to go to cruiserweight since I can't get a fight at heavyweight because everybody wants to pop dirty, the internet lost his mind. Oh, my God, he wants to go and beat up everybody that's smaller than him at cruiserweight. No, y'all say he's like 200 pounds. He is. He's a little above 200 pounds. And for a little while, he couldn't get a fight at heavyweight because everybody was ducking him. So he said, man, I might have to go to cruiserweight. Oh, he want to go down there and beat up on Usyk. So? At least Usyk could fight him. Y'all were calling Deontay a weight bully. You got to be out your cotton-picking mind, you slave. So the black in that super chat salute, he says, Drew, salute to you, good brother. Y'all see the living contradiction of Mauricio SILLYMAN? Just let him talk.
Now he can fight in a stadium. It's good for him, good for German boxer, good for the division. So you're getting
he's fighting. If you ask Caballel, and I think they asked him after the fight who he wanted next, he wants to fight Usyk next. Usyk already had another fight. He had the Danny Dubois fight
that he won by knockout.
2025. He had one fight that year that was not a WBC ordered fight. Why?
I wonder if Usyk had to pay a fee on that. Wow.
Does he get another one? Why does he get another voluntary when he has no opponent?
He just fought Fury.
And after he knocked out Dubois, did he not call out Fury again? Did he say Caballel because they put the mic in him? He said, "Do you want Fury?" Did he not call out AJ again or some shit? And then as of late, he said he wanted Deontay. Now that's great for business, and I want that for my brother. But Adrian Caballel should be next up.
That was 2 years ago.
Fury, Dubois. If you were consistent with our side of making money and sanction fees.
Did you hear that? Did you hear what he just said?
We would be ordering all these fights all the time. We are with the promoters, with the industry, with the networks, with the fighters.
Did you hear the order, y'all? He did it again. He did it again. Let's hear him say it again. Listen.
We are with the promoters, with the industry, with the networks, with the fighters.
Fighters last. Now he added the networks in it. Did you hear that? Did you hear what he just said? The promoters, the industry, the promoters, the networks, the fighters. Let me write that down. 1, the industry. 2, the promoters. 3, the networks. 4, the fighters. Fighters dead last, y'all. Fighters dead last. Dead last. The industry, money. Promoters, money shared amongst the sanctioning bodies. 3, the networks, what's good for business, because the networks are the ones that are paying. And mind you, ESPN, Fox, they're not airing boxing on regular TV anymore. It's over with. And last, the fighters. The fighters should be number 1. See that? This is why Turkey Al-Sheikh came through and legitimately bust their ass in 2 years.
We work with them on times. I mean, you can see there are fighters that fight once or twice a year, and that's it.
Yes, but shouldn't
shouldn't
your job
4 times a year?
Shouldn't your job be just to objectively keep the title in play? Like, if a guy like Usyk wants to take a year off, shouldn't he be named your champion in recess?
Just to tell the things, investigate the facts, and then make a. You trash me horribly.
All right, bitch. You done got caught cheating. You got caught in the act. And it's your man's fault. I don't care what he did. I don't care what he did. You got caught. I don't care what you alleged. You know how many times? Oh, I cheated because I thought you was cheating. How many times I've seen that? That's happened to me back in the day. Hey, what's this, Ma? Well, I thought you was doing something. No. I literally, just a sidebar, I literally was dating a young lady way back in the 90s. And her girlfriend called her and said, yo, I just saw your man in the mall with this pretty brown-skinned chick. And they were laughing and joking. They had shopping bags. I'm calling Shorty. She ain't answering the phone. I'm like, what's wrong with her? Right? Called her when I got up in the morning. Called her when I came back from work. I'm like, what's going on? Finally, her mama answered the phone. She says, look, you need to stop calling here, okay? Stop stalking my daughter. I said, whoa, Miss So-and-so, what's that? I call every morning, like I've been doing. And then I call when I come home from work. It's not stalking. I'm just, I've spoken to her in 4 days. I was about to just pop up and find out if she's okay. Well, why don't you ask your new girlfriend? This is her mother talking to me. What new girlfriend? What are you, wait, hold on. I don't know what you're talking about. Bang the phone on me. I said, I don't know what the F's going on, but you know what? I don't chase women. I don't know what's going on. So eventually, a week later, my phone rang. And, well, long story short, I was told that she let some dude smash. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's over with. I was hoping to see if she was all right. I ain't heard from her in about a week. I guess she's okay. I guess she probably met old boy and he put the beats on it. Not my business. I said, all right, well, I guess we ain't speaking no more. Well, a week after that, she calls me. Hello. I'm like, hey, what up? And she quiet. I'm like, well, what's going on? Well, we got to talk. Okay, I've been here the whole time. I've been trying to call you. Your mother said I was stalking you. I said, I just want to know if she's okay. You haven't heard from her. I called you in the morning and I called you after work and, you just stopped. You pretty much, I don't know what happened. You good? Look, I'm good. I just want to know why'd you do it. What do you mean? Well, her friend called her and said, oh, you was at the mall. How you enjoyed being at the mall, spending money with that bitch or some bitch you was with? Oh, bitch. I said, the mall? The mall? Yeah, you buying her shit. And what? I'm at the mall with who? Buying who what? Now, this is before the social media with the cell phones and all this shit. This is the 90s, y'all. And I said, oh. You mean 2 weeks ago? I was in the mall. A lot of shopping bags. I said, okay. How the girl look? She short, she brown skin, had long hair. Oh, that's my sister, you idiot. Dummy. Short, cute, brown skin. My sister, you dumbass. Who told you that? Your gossiping ass friend. Shopping bags? Were we shopping for what? Clothes? Or were we coming out of fucking Pathmark with groceries? What are you talking about? You know what? It's irrelevant. So that was my sister. You know my sister. What are you talking about? You've met her. Is she short? Yes. Is she pretty? Yes. It's my sister, stupid. Dummy. Oh, well, I only did what I did because I thought you was. I said, well, you never called me. I said, well, I called you the next day as I normally did, and you just stopped answering the phone. And then after day number 4, your mom answered the phone with an attitude and got on me. Oh, because I told her you cheated. Did I cheat? Well, no. Now that I know, I said, well, that's a shame. Question, did you F so-and-so? Because it turns out I knew homie. Well, we weren't cool, but he had no obligation or no loyalty to me. I knew who he was, and there was never any beef. He's just doing him. I ain't mad at him for what? For what? He was minding his business, and you pressed him. Nah, Pathmark ain't around no more. I ain't got no beef with him. It was you. And you pressed him. My boys call me, yo, you know, so-and-so. See, I know it is. Yo, your girl was pressing him hard. Oh, well, I ain't heard from her in like about a week. So I guess we done. Next. So you listen to your gossiping ass friend over me. You banged homie. You called me 3 weeks later. For what? What do you want? Go ahead and do it. You might as well go back over there. I'm good. Then I had to deal with 2 weeks of apologies. There ain't no coming back from that. Then her same homegirl somehow got a hold of, well, she gave her my number, gets a hold of my number, and now she's calling me trying to patch shit up. I'm playing PlayStation, my phone ring. Hello? Yeah, this is so-and-so. I'm like, how'd you get my number? You know, all right, I know how you got my number. What do you want? Because this is your fault. I'm saying I didn't know. All right, well, okay, well, now you know. And no one's half the battle. G.I. Joe. If you're my age, you know what I just did. Exactly, Kid Kudo. Don't call me when I'm playing my video game. Don't call me when I'm playing my video game. I'm going to say it one more time. Do not call me when I'm playing my video game. I was in the... Matter of fact, I wasn't on the PlayStation. I was on the SNES playing NBA Live 95. When that came out, I was cooking on that game. And then the phone rang. I'm like, oh, who's this? And it's her. I'm like, what? Who are you? What? How'd you get my number? Oh, she gave, what? Now you want to patch it up? No, this is your fault. Look. We good. I'm good. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at her. She got to be mad at you, and y'all got to work out your friendship. I'm off. I'm good. When I saw dude in the street, he kind of like looked at me. I gave him a head nod. I was like, yo. He was like, I said, yo, it's good. It's good. If you got it like that, then she was never mine. And I dapped it up, and we laughed about it. Fellas, I just gave you game. If she left you, she was never yours. We dapped it up, and he told me his side. Yo, I was bugging. I mean, you know, I was minding my business, and she was like extra. I just asked him, you still fucking? He said, no. It was one-time thing. It wasn't even that good. And I could tell she didn't want to do nothing, but she gave it. And I was like, yo, what happened to you? But, you know, she said, I don't want to talk about him. I want to talk about him. So, you know, I said, yo, bro, whatever, man. Do it again. I don't care. Y'all want to know what's crazy? Y'all want to know what's crazy? By that summer, her friend that put that out, you know, I bust her guts, right? I bust her guts. That's what that was all about. You know not to tell, I ain't gonna say her name. I said, that's not for me to tell. But I'm free to do what I want. That's your friend. So if this gets out, it's on you. That's your friend. That's your friend. I don't talk to her no more. She left me based off of something you told her And now we in the staircase. I didn't even take her to a hotel, bro. It was the staircase, bro. I ain't taking her to the crib. I ain't taking her to the hotel. We went into the staircase. You know, you're in the staircase and you got to be quiet because you hear someone going out to the elevator. You're like, shh, wait, shut up. Don't say nothing. All right, they're going. Oh, wait, someone come out. I heard the door. Hold the door. Wait. Shh. Be quiet. Okay, they're going. Oh, wait, someone coming. Wait, shh. Quiet. You heard that? Wait. Chill. Go slow. Okay, they're going. If you know, you'll know. I'm from the Bronx, baby. I know all about it. They're going to tell me, you know not to tell. I'm like, if this gets out, it's just me and you in here. If this gets out, it's on you. You got to live with that. Turn around. Literally 4 months after she started all of this shit. I didn't hate her. I'm like, all right, man, look. Then you call me up and try and patch it up. I'm like, yeah, man, look, I ain't got nothing to do with that. You was misinformed. And you know what? I just told her that she wasn't misinformed. 2 things. She was jealous of her friend dealing with me. She was jealous of her friend. And she basically wanted me. Not so much because I was the drop dead, the catch on the block. All right. She wanted me because her friend had me. Go to Pep Talk and look up my show when I did Are Women Really Frenemies? She only wanted me because her friend had me. Mission accomplished. I said, I don't talk to your friend no more. You do. You probably gonna see her today. Go home and take a shower though. Bend over. Four or 5 times in the staircase. She ain't coming to the crib. We ain't go to the short stay. And that's it. Now listen, I'm way past my time. And we got about another 20 minutes of this. Do y'all want me to finish this off tomorrow? And what I was going to do tomorrow, I'll just move it to Monday. You know what? Let's do a part 2 to this tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to head over to 78 because I still got a lot left on this. We'll finish it tomorrow. The general's on. Okay, so we'll do part 2. Just let them talk part 2. We'll do this tomorrow. And I'll move my my live that was scheduled for tomorrow. I'll move it over to Monday. But Simeon Saturday, I have a case study for Simeon Saturday. It's gonna be real special. I'm gonna upload it so y'all see it. And if you if you know my content, you know what I'm gonna do on Saturday. But I want some unfamiliars to pop up on me on Saturday because it's gonna be a case study, and I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about. But salute to y'all, man, and thank you, Shower. I have uploaded. I didn't even do it. Okay, I've uploaded what you sent me. I'm uploading it right now into my StreamYard. This right here. We're gonna review that. We're gonna do that tomorrow. So part 2 will be tomorrow. Thank y'all for rocking with the boy. You know what I mean? I might do Pep Talk tonight. Salute to Stormy because he's the one that hit me up and said, bro, you got to see this shit. And I listened to it and I said, yo, this is the illest pipe bomb ever. So we'll do part 2 to this tomorrow. And Jenna was on. Let's head over there. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, the Super Chats. We love a sport that don't love us. Feel me? And Tom reveals all truth, and he's spilling it. So I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Bronx on deck.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.